Isn't McKenna perfect? Okay, so I always say, do your neighbors know you're in real estate? They say, yes, of course. I mean, that's what John Scott told me to do. I told all my neighbors. Maybe you told like a handful, 4 or 5. And then I pull it up on the screen and there's 100 neighbors nearby and we run the data and everything. And did you know that 35 of your 100 neighbors have their home completely paid off? They're sitting on 100% of equity. And they say, no, that's crazy. I would have never guessed that they were that many. So why are we not prospecting those people and treating them like the gold that they're sitting on? If your average, home in your neighborhood, let's say you're in a nice starter community these days, $700,000 homes, and 35 of those people are fully paid off. How much money is that? A lot of money. So let's make sure that all of those people know that we're in real estate and we are their trusted resource to be able to help. You might think I'm crazy, but this is gonna really make sense here when I invite participation from the audience, which I'm gonna do right now. So does anyone have an address that they want to give me? And I will show you how this tool works and how I can help you connect with your neighbors.
One.
Karen does. Karen, what's your address?
17644. Southeast. 276 Place.
In Pennington?
Yes. Almost stuck.
All right, so here's Karen's address. I've never been here before. I don't even know where this is. Oh gosh, it didn't show up.
764 Place, not street.
17644, Southeast.
276.
In Kent.
Yes.
Make sure your client gives you the correct address. Oh my gosh, Karen. Maybe it's Maple Valley.
174
Valley. Do you own this property?
No. Well,
Do you know the owner's name? Let's search by that.
Wilbur, W-I-L-B-U-R. Did I do the wrong thing? Yeah, you did. Still under his copy. Okay.
Like that, Blake Wilbur?
Yes. Well, I screwed up this morning.
17644, 293rd.
Oh, 293rd.
All right. So we found the house.
My address.
Here it is.
It's one of those days. I woke up late today, everybody.
How about this? If Karen doesn't know where she lives, then her neighbors definitely don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God.
So let's drop the pin. I just want to take a look at what's going on in this neighborhood. Make that circle a little bit bigger. Let's search within a quarter mile. Still very, very, very small. So here's 94 properties that are right nearby Karen. I didn't do any subdivision or anything. I just threw a circle out there. There's 94 people. If I wanted to get phones and emails for all of those 94 people, it's a whopping $13. Okay? If I add all these 94 people into my MyDesk database and send out those campaigns automatically, that's going to be pretty valuable, isn't it? Is it pretty easy for me to print out 94 customized CMAs? Of course, that's going to take some time, but I could print those out and I could walk them to their doorstep. Or leave it on their doorstep, not even knock the door, just drop it and run away. And I know. And on your letter, you can just say, hey, I'm your next door neighbor and I just wanted to be your resource.
So take a step back, will
What do you mean by that?
before we got to this.
Okay.
So all you did is anything and just, okay, it shows the street over there.
Yep. We can move that circle. We can drag it, make it bigger, make it smaller. Really easy.
Can you change the shape of it too, or are you leaving it to that?
Yeah, we absolutely can. So if we wanted to do a boundary, we could just go down this street. I definitely don't want to ever cross the street. It's dangerous
All
over
across the
there.
street. So I'm gonna go with that. These houses, yeah.
All right. Let's customize Karen search here. So like this rectangular strip here. Do you live in an airport?
Yeah, there was off-road into the airport view.
Let's do this. So how many people do you think are in this circle? More than you think is the answer. 256. Okay, let's get all their phones and emails. $32 to connect with these 256 people. And my whole kind of theme today is, wouldn't you be pretty pissed off if you came home today after your hard work of, week of work, and there was a Windermere sign in your next door neighbor's yard? Wouldn't you be upset? Right? Nobody is allowed to get upset if they have not reached out to their neighbors to let them know that they're in real estate. Otherwise, they're just going to Google real estate agent near me and they're going to pick the first one, or even worse, the cheapest one. And then that thing's not going to sell and it's going to expire. And then now everyone's property values go down because nobody wants to move into that neighborhood because that agent didn't list it properly, right? So let's take care of our own neighborhood. Of these 256 people, check this out. 10 of them are considered to be next sellers. They're owning their place right around that average years of ownership. So these are your 10 who are going to move next, the data says. Now, this might not be 100% accurate, but if you don't believe anything I'm saying, just do CMAs for these 10 people and watch. One of these 10 people will sell within the next year. I can almost guarantee.
Got that, Karen?
Okay? How many of those 250 people are fully paid off, sitting on goal? 25.
No more.
68. Dang.
Wow.
68 people fully paid off. $13 to contact those people, get their phones, their emails, do CMAs. If you get one of these people to bite, you've spent $13 and a little bit of time, and you've got $20,000 in commissions, right? Compensation, right? So we can pick out the cream of the crop of your neighborhood too. Predict who's going to sell next, and then make sure to just go after all that equity.
How do we get different statistics or farming?
I went property search and then put in an address, but farming is kind of what we do, and then we drop it in. Any questions from online? We're going to do this over and over again. So if anyone wants to do their own address. Okay. While we're at a break here, let me show you my favorite website. It is bookwithchase.com. You go there, it won't load on here because it's kind of like a firewall. But you can create a Zoom meeting with me. It's super easy, and you just click here, click when you are available, and it will schedule a Zoom meeting on my calendar. So bookwithchase.com. We can go over this one-on-one anytime you want. So let's do it together. What's your address, Shilpa? In Des Moines?
I
Okay,
bet you'll get it right.
so here's the address. You click search, and it goes right to it, and drops a pin. So then I go farming and radius search. Yep. And then that drops a pin right on the house here. And then I like to go up here and zoom out just to see how big that radius is. Not big enough, let's make it bigger. So up here on the default, you can select that we want it to be half a mile, quarter mile. And then no one lives out there in the water, so I'll move that over to the right a little bit, capture more homes. And let's see what's going on. So the beauty of this tool and being able to drop a pin and do a radius is that we're now talking hyper-local, right? We're not talking about Des Moines. We're not talking about Federal Way. We're not talking about King County. We're talking about this exact area where all of these people, share the same grocery store. They share the same school. So you have a very, very good reason to connect with these people. You live right next door to them. So, yep. Get count, and that shows how many people are in that circle. You've got 653. That's too many postcards. That's too many phone calls. So we could shrink up that circle and talk to your 100 closest neighbors, of course, or we can use the data to find maybe the 100 best. And that best is up to you. Again, I like to find the next sellers. This especially works if you have an open house. And of those 600 something people, We found 14 next sellers.
You want to join them to the next
I
summer?
went to custom filters.
Very soon. Okay, next seller for the.
Empty nesters, who has lived there for 30 plus years and the home has 3+ bedrooms. We can't search by age anymore. We can't search by how much money people make. But if you've been there for 30 years and you have 3+ bedrooms, I think it's a pretty safe bet that you've got too much house.
You could just see the number here. If you don't want the phone number, you might be finding the address.
So for $2, you can get a whole spreadsheet with names, addresses, price, all that stuff. And if you want phones and emails, phones are 5 cents a piece and emails are 7 cents a piece on top of that.
This $2 is without the email.
Correct.
That's just for the address.
Correct. Of the 600 something people in Shilpa's neighborhood, how many are fully paid off? $153 of those 650 people fully paid off, right by the water.
This is the-
Okay, 153. That's absolutely crazy to me. How many of those are assessed over $1 million?
50% at least.
34,
Oh,
over $1 million fully paid off. Okay? I cannot lead you to more equity, to a hotter group of people. This is all publicly available information, right? We're not being super creepy here, but we're using the data to really point us to the right people in this neighborhood. If I gave you a list of 653 phone numbers, you're never going to get started. It's too many. But I think we could knock out 50 in a week, especially if they're all paid off $1 million homes, right? Add all these emails into your John L. Scott campaigns, automatically send those, what's my home worth, valuation weeks that we just had. Any of that stuff. It's free to send emails. They'll say, Chase, what if I call these people and they tell me never to call them again? So what? Don't call them again and move on to the next one. I shouldn't be breaking any of this news to you guys.
how does everyone get access to these tools?
That's a really good question. How do you get access to these tools? Well, you just go to accesshometools.com and sign up. It's free to do. If it says that an account already exists with this email address, just reset your password. And if you don't remember any of this, what do? We go to bookwithchase.com and we meet with me on Zoom or here in your office, and I will walk you through all of this one-on-one. I can do these searches like, say, Shilpa's neighborhood here, and I can share it directly into her account, so she doesn't have to do any of the work. She can call me when she's on I-5 in traffic and say, hey, I want 100 next sellers around my next open house that I have. I'll have that in her inbox in 2 minutes. Anyone else? Anyone in Zoomland? Am I crazy here? Does anyone want to see anything?
Zoom people.
Hayden, why are you here today? Just passing the time?
Save it 12 months.
I'll jump in and show you what a farm looks like when we purchase it and how we can actually use this information. Here are my next door neighbors. There's a lot more than 31 homes on this. I call it my daily walk, but these are 31 people who are set to sell next. And I think I added equity, I think, on this too, made sure that they had their homes fully paid off. To give you all this information, when it was last sold, what it was last sold for, what are their phone numbers, what are their email addresses. And from here, we can export into an Excel file, flip that over to your marketing team. They can send out postcards. I hear you guys at this office get free postcards even. if everyone's not taking advantage of sending those postcards into the people with $1 million homes, what are we doing?
125 mailings a month.
125 free mailings a month. Put them into people with their homes paid off that live right next door to you. Karen, is there anything else you want to see? Shilpa?
That's what I needed to know, so.
Moving closer to salmon season.
Okay. I was in Spokane Activator yesterday with Carrie Hayes,
Oh,
and
nice.
she's like, I don't farm my neighborhood. And Patty was in there too. Patty started getting pissed, and you know how Patty gets.
Oh, yeah.
And so we did the search on hers, and there were literally 70 homes. 35 of them are fully paid off. And Patty like just about jumped across the table and strengthened Carrie. So we got Carrie set up on a farm during Activator yesterday. So that's how easy it is. Takes $5 in 5 minutes.
All right, let's do mine.
All right, what's up?
10308
Don't blow it.
Northeast 189th Street.
Awesome. Awful.
You know, they're listed as like one of the most expensive cities in.
We just made it on the list for what?
One of the most expensive in.
Where do you live?
It's a walking distance to the beer shop.
Because it's not.
Zoom in. It's. Yep, C versus B to the right there.
Okay, well, yeah, on this block. This is where you're
Right there.
Okay, so let's drop the pen on.
Let's,
What do you want to see?
can we do polygon?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's just take the whole downtown, see that line with that main road that's right above the pin? Let's make that the border and then just stay in between. Yep,
We can just go down here.
yep, go over, that's fine. Yeah, just keep that little- Actually, maybe we'll go above it, we forgot that whole area, it's like. Sorry.
Up to the line.
That might be too many, but, let's just see what it says.
We'll pick out the cream.
Yep. Down to that.
All right. Show me what we're working. Here's where this guy lives. Let's see what's going on. Oh, that's almost 682. Felt like a lot more. Perfect. So 682 properties. Let's get all their phones and emails. If you want to just blast everyone, I'm not saying we can't do that. It's only $83. Get everyone's phone and email, add them into your campaign, and now if there's ever any listings in here, that's your fun.
And that's single family, condos.
Just single families and condos. Yep. We took out the multifamily. We can add all that, but no. So single families and condos. Make sure they're worth quite a bit of money, maybe. Yeah, just want to see what's going on. And let's make sure that they've lived there for 3 years. At least, give them a chance to change their mind. Why do you think I'm always here? So of those 600 something, 421 are worth over 650 and they've been there for 3 years. Make sure that we have a reason to contact them. Do they have their place over halfway paid off?
What was the entry for the paid off?
We have 2 agents on.
In the mortgage info,
So I'm on available filters, so it's a different area? No.
premier data, and then mortgage info will pop up. You see it? So we got from 650, cut that in about half by adding more filters, make sure they have a bunch of equity, they've been there 3 years, it's over 650,000.
Who's all paid off?
Yeah. 82 fully paid off, worth over 650. It's $16, you guys. I mean, imagine if Eric had an open house right here in this circle. Let's contact these people. Look how good I'm doing with this open house. I sold it in 2 days. It sold over ask. I could do even better for your house because yours is much nicer.
Let's reset it all the way back to the original list. 600 rows. 32.
Okay.
And then to include emails.
Just email.
Yeah, what if it's just emails? I want to see the difference in just emails.
$50 for just emails.
And what about both phones and emails? That was the 82.
$80 for both phones and emails.
I'm gonna buy that list.
Share it over to you.
Nice.
Yeah. Show you that in a second.
So you can make this that special CSV file.
Oh yeah. So once we have this information, close your eyes and imagine what you want to do with it, and we can do it. And I can help you walk through it all. So McKenna was wondering if we could, like let's say maybe you have a buyer that has $1 million and they want to find a specific house. What are they looking for? What's their recipe? So they want to live in this exact area. There's 682 homes. Obviously, these are all off market. And when one pops up on the market that is fitting your buyer, there's going to be 50 other people that want to put an offer in on it too, right? So let's send those off-market letters like lots of you guys are doing in this office. And if you're not, well, maybe that's something that we want to pick up. I've got a buyer. They are looking for something like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or more, single-family home with quite a big lot, 7,500 square feet. It's not too big, but big enough. And they want it to be 1,800 square feet. So of those 650 properties, there's 302, so we're getting somewhere. But they had a budget of $1 million, so let's make sure that it's not assessed for over $1 million. And we cut that down, and here's a nice tidy list of 127 homes that are, potentially for my buyer. And I can tell that buyer, hey, I've got 127 phone numbers. I'm going down the list. I'm sending letters. I'm doing what I can to dig up a property. Now, what if you do dig up a property and they're like, yeah, I would sell. And then you bring your buyer to that house and your buyer, before they even get to the driveway, they're like, oh, no, I don't want to buy this one. Are you screwed? Are you out of luck? No, you just picked up an off-market seller. So there's two sides of the coin here. You're not just wasting time. There's a lot of value to be had when you kind of put the filters to this and think with both sides of your brain at the same time.
A lot you can do.
For those of you that live in condos, or if you've ever sold a building or a condo in what am I trying to say, a unit in a condo building, just attack that entire condo building. Park the car once, up and down the stairs, own those 70 condos. You're not allowed to get upset if you don't let people know that you're in real estate. That's the whole point. My own freaking mother did this to me. And it was even worse. She moved from Arizona to Spokane. That's like the easiest money that I could possibly make. And she said, well, I didn't think you did real estate in Spokane. I don't, but I know 1,000 people that do, and I can get that referral money for you, right? She didn't know that because I didn't tell her. That's not her fault. That's my fault.
Yeah, I tell you guys all the time that you need to make sure everybody that you come into contact with knows that you are the point of contact for real estate, all real estate, everywhere on the planet. You can always get referrals through the Leading RE network, and it's handled for you. And you can still be involved. That's the part I love. Like if you want to interview the other agent with the seller or with the buyer, they totally allow you to do that. It's up to you. They'll let you either just give the referral and be done with it and you're out, and then they just give you your check when it's over, or you could be involved the whole way.
Let's take that empty nesters that are fully paid off, for example, right? What are those people going to do? They're not going to live here forever. They're going to go enjoy their retirement. Maybe they keep the home, maybe they don't. But if they're going to relocate to Palm Springs or Arizona or something, let's help them out. It doesn't matter what these people say. We can help them with whatever their situation is.
Okay, so we think empty nester is a good field, and then the paid off one is good because
Because I think equity is extremely important and have hundreds of thousands of dollars to be able to do whatever it is that you want. That really sets you apart.
And do you think age, this is like one for age?
There is nothing for age, but we can do, that's why I like to focus on equity. I don't care how old you are. If you've got $1 million that you're living in, that works. And if you've been there for 30 years, you're definitely not 24. So we can think a little smarter.
Okay, so when you're done with this, you can go ahead and do that.
Sure.
Credit already.
What about if someone wants to find super small houses?
Ah,
And you want to get the move up buyers?
yeah.
Not a lot of people even go after them.
That's excellent. So let's use Bothell for an example. So I think there's probably some condos in this circle, right? Let's make sure. When I hear move up buyer, I just go straight to condos. We could go to small homes too, but I think for demo purposes, condos is probably pretty easy. Less than or equal to 2 bedrooms. And the home size less than or equal to, let's say, 1250, right? You're working from home now, you got a kid on the way, all of a sudden my world's blowing up and I need more space. There's 220 properties.
Or
Now,
smaller. Let's see, smaller.
well, hold on here.
Oh,
Let's do the condos. Now, just because there's 220 condos, that doesn't mean that you live there. It might mean that you are a landlord, right? So let's do owner occupied. Make sure that they actually live there and they're, stuck there. 142 of those people. Now, if they're going to need to move up, they're going to need some equity. They're going to need to purchase a place. Of those 142, who's got 75% of that condo paid? And now we're down to the 65 condo people who are stuck in a small place that have a lot of equity. There's 2 sides of the coin right there. Just go straight for these people. Okay? Want to go even smaller than that? Absolutely. What are you thinking?
under 1,000. Let's do it.
133.
How about even smaller? Looks like 8 or 700. What's less than 700 square feet? See if anybody's.
27 studios in Bothell.
Yeah.
No, let's make sure they're owner occupants.
Oh, that's right.
21. Quite a few. It's a lot. How many of those are paid off?
So there you go. Now there's a list. Print that out and make a postcard that's like.
Look at that.
20?
Of those 21, 20 of them are fully paid off. What are you doing still cramped in there, bud? You got a $550,000 condo, right? Let's rent that thing out for $3,000 a month. It's crazy out there these days. So what's your plan? What are your options? That's why I would like to get down to the equity because your options are limitless. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Especially if they're your next door neighbor, right? I just want to help you.
Yeah. You say, hey, I'm curious, but we've got a lot of buyers or something that have been looking in this area, or we're trying to find, since there's not enough inventory, our only option is to reach out to homeowners directly. That's our only option. If someone's desperate to find a home in a community. One of the coolest things that a broker from another company knocked on our door when I was at work and hit the ring button. And my wife's like, can I help you? And he's like, yeah, I'm so-and-so from another company. I don't know if you saw, your neighbor's home sold. We were one of the losing buyers out of the 5 offers. And my buyer's desperate, and I made a promise to them that I would go, door to door. I love that. And I was like, I respect that. I love that.
Yeah.
I hope my brokers are doing the same thing for every one of their buyers.
Because for every knock at the door, I mean, you might be a little annoyed that someone's coming up in the middle of the day, whatever, right? But it just shows that there's so much interest in this neighborhood. So then those people start to actually listen to those Zillow commercials, those Redfin commercials. Screw that. John L. Scott, right? We actually care. We're not just trying to sell a home.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing that if I wasn't a managing broker, if it was just someone else that was regular, they would probably not only respect that and understand, the reason that he's actually doing that, But what else does that actually, what else does that make you think about someone like that? Like, wow, that's a hard, like, who else does that? Hardly anybody. Like, hey, can I get, obviously, here's your card, they stand out because most brokers don't do it. You're probably the 1% of the 40,000 licensed brokers in our Northwest MLS do something like that.
Not complicated situation.
Mhm.
I sometimes have these campaigns for people to look at the value of the house and look at, five people in the neighborhood who are taking.
Oh, that's cool.
Now what do I do? Like,
Now you follow up. Now it's a
How do I
follow-up
follow up?
letter. That's a
Yeah.
follow-up letter.
But with what? Right? I don't know if they want to sell. If I
Yeah.
see them on the street, I will ask them. But like, I want to figure out how to follow up, right?
Yeah.
So
You
like,
need a follow-up letter. And we do have, I think we have a template for that one. I'll try to go dig that one up. But it's basically, hey, I noticed that you logged in and checked out the value of your home in order to get an accurate, obviously that's a computer that's using an algorithm to figure out, a median price for you. If you want a real true market value evaluation, I would be happy to come in person and take a look at your home and give you a complete, free CMA.
and then
So,
I also want to do a CAD,
Mhm.
practice a CAD, because when I go there, a lot of these people, they bought in my neighborhood for $300 a piece.
Yeah.
Like they're sitting in that kind of equity.
Mhm.
On the same neighborhood, there's been a house for 2.5 million that's not sold. Because the guy doesn't want to sell. Whatever. Right? Like
Yeah.
there's a story behind it because he's just keeping it there with people trying to put it in.
Yeah.
Right? So like, but now I want to do that next step, right?
Mhm.
And not be too aggressive and too
Yeah.
in the face either.
Well, that's why you can't call them. So I always explain it to where, somebody like if you're online and you're looking at shoes at Nordstrom and you clicked on the shoes and you're like, oh, those shoes are nice. Ooh, I kind of like those. Oh, kind of expensive. And you close it down. And all of a sudden you're like, you shut down your computer and your phone rings. And it's Nordstrom. Okay. That's weird. Hey, Shilpa, this is Eric from Nordstrom's. I noticed that you were looking at, whatever shoe, size, 6, for the $199. Those are actually on sale. I don't know if you saw that. You would be like, that's creepy. That's weird. It's the same thing. We can't put those out there because they don't know, they don't realize that you get to see that data from behind the screen, right? They don't understand that it's that way. So you can't just call them and say, hey, I noticed you clicked to see how much your home was worth. It's the same thing. I want you to think of that Nordstrom story. You can't do that. But you can send a letter. You can send a letter and say, hey, just a heads up, all of these online, evaluation tools, like they're neat and, they do give us an idea of value, but it's not accurate. If you want a true market evaluation, let me come out to your home and give you a complete, no cost, comparative market analysis. That's what you need to do. Send a letter.
And if they say yes,
Then it's time to schedule an appointment. Say I'm a big believer in the 2-step, right? 2-step is, like a doctor does before they just operate on you. What do? They assess, they ask, questions, they do tests, right? You got to do the same thing. So you'll print out everything you can from Realist, find if it was listed before, the old property information, tax information, and then schedule appointment. Say, I need to come out to your house first. I need to see your house in person. You're making notes, asking questions. Have you done any remodeling? Oh, you have? Did you get permits? Oh, you don't know? I can check for you online. So you're just making notes and stuff. The whole first appointment, and you make sure you explain this, is that I need to just assess and take a look at your property and evaluate it, and then I will bring back a full, complete CMA. Because if you just like a computer that didn't go through your home, like if you want a real idea, this is the best way to do it. And then you can come back, we do the full cloud CMA with a BMA and the buyer market analysis on the back end of your buy side. And then you put it all into Unibind, put it in your black box, go, and then actually set your appointment for your actual listing presentation.
They don't even know they want to sell, they were just maybe just curious about
Yeah.
it.
That's, I mean, a lot of people do it.
And the thing, Shilpa, is you're not just stuck at this one person, right? They're gonna say, wow, you will not believe what Shilpa came over and did for me. And they'll tell their 3 friends at their dinner party, and then boom, there you go. That's how it works. So we lead with that help and service.
Yeah.
And I promise they will come.
And I've got to that stage of like the next step, like go out there and do it.
Yeah, we have someone in here that literally, they did exactly what I said, did the full cloud CMA, everything, right? And they left it in the Unibind, and the seller, and it was the exact kind of same thing. The seller's like, you know what? We're not quite ready yet, but man, this is honestly, we've sold 4 homes before in our lifetime. We've never seen material like this done
Right.
before. Like you blew the competition out of the water. We met with 2 other agents.
For what, $15 maybe? Like,
Yeah.
that? Like,
Well, yeah, it's like probably with all the color copying and
Sure.
all of that, you're probably in it like 30 something bucks.
well worth it.
To make, this one's actually was like over $1 million sale listing. So it's like, you decide.
Okay. Anyone on Zoom have any questions?
I see some chats there.
They're all from me.
Oh, those are all yours.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
I am here for you all. One-on-one meetings are my favorite thing. Let's dig deep into your business. What works best for you? Eric, Hayden, Oksana, Sandra, Tracy.
That's nice.
Thank you for attending. I appreciate it.
Bye, guys.